Good morning, students. As you all know that we are facing this problem of coronavirus and our school has digitalized the learning process. So today in the digital learning first class, we are going to talk first about what all are we facing today. As you all know that coronavirus is the COVID-19 as we call it, is a problem that we are facing and it is a viral disease. Do you know what are viruses? Now, viruses are the ones which are not at either included in the living nor in the non-living, because these are considered as on the borderline of life. Now, why these are considered as on borderline of life? Because you must have read about the properties of living organisms. Have you? Yes. So living organisms are the ones which show certain characteristic features. And this is the topic that we'll be studying today, that is life processes. Life processes are the characteristic features of every living organism which they show in all conditions. So life processes are not shown by the viruses. Now these life processes, which include processes like respiration, nutrition, excretion, and transportation. Now, if I talk about the viruses, they do not show respiration, they do not show nutrition, they do not show transportation, and they do not show excretion if they are outside the living host. But once they enter into the living host, they start dividing, they start reproducing, they start being active by using the machinery of the host. Now, because they are using the machinery of the host, they are inside the host cell. We have read in class 9th also a similar thing in the chapter Why Do We Fall Ill? If you remember, we talked that antibiotics do not work against viruses because they do not have their own mechanisms. So we cannot stop the mechanisms which are our own mechanisms actually. So if we want to target by antibiotics, we want to target viruses, we are actually targeting our own cells. So what is happening here is viruses. Today we were like talking about coronavirus and why it is dangerous and there is no vaccine against coronavirus. The problem being it is a virus and it is using our machinery. Like simple example I'll give you. Like suppose there is a guest who has come to your house and the guest is living in your house using your resources, using your kitchen, using your bathrooms, using your bedrooms. And if you want that particular guest has to be targeted, you cannot target that guest, you cannot have theft on that guest because the guest is in your home. If you are planning any theft or if you are planning any murder, the guest is sitting in your home, so you are answerable for it. So here goes the same case with the virus also, because virus is in our body, it is our guest, it has entered into our cells. We as living organisms have the property that the cells will keep dividing, this virus will keep dividing in our bodies. So that's the problem that we are facing today. So that's why it is very important to have a vaccine rather than having any kind of antibiotic. The scientists, you must have heard in news also, all scientists are working upon the antibiotics, but there is no kind of antibiotic which can be planned. But yes, vaccine is definitely a good solution for it, and that will go on. So with this, the discussion of coronavirus, I am going to introduce the chapter which we will be starting today, which is life processes.